There you go.
That's
exactly your freedom.
If your idea of happiness is doing whatever you want, whenever you want to, you must be unhappy a lot of the time because, I mean, if you have responsibilities, you can't do whatever you want whenever you want to.
Right, and
how often? I mean, I almost never get to do whatever I want.
Alluring.
You know, I'll tell you, I get to do what I want a lot. And,
you do?
And my wife and I are great. And sometimes I take care of my daughter. I do a lot. I shouldn't say sometimes. And I genuinely want to do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't, and that kind of sucks. But more often than not, I enjoy spending time with her and doing those things. They don't bother me. But
sometimes I feel like the things that I think I want to do, again, I rate the amount of happiness I'll get from them as higher than it would have been if I just spent the day with my family. Like I always crave. I have a Kindle, which is a little book reader, Amazon book reader, and I fantasize about being alone with it for like an entire weekend and like giving it the attention it needs.
Yeah. Nobody here, just me and you.
You know, giving it, you know, just like reading whatever I want for like days and days, just Kindle. But like if I actually did that, I would miss out on the fun weekend that my kids had and my husband had, and so it's like it's not really. Sometimes, you know, you get what you need.
Do you ever have this experience that everything in your life is perfect, and you have everything you need, and there's nothing you can do what you want,
you have no right to be
want
unhappy,
but you just like feel like sad for no reason?
So we have to understand about our happiness. That our happiness comes and goes. And our sadness comes and goes. But they will always come back to more happiness.
Yeah. I have bad days. Everybody has bad days like that, where you have no reason to be mad at life, but you just are.
Yeah, why? What's with that?
I don't know. That's just human condition.
That's your childhood.
You are. That's your
That's your childhood.
That's psychopath.
Maybe you need that one day.
It's not your childhood.
Yeah. Maybe that's what you need.
No, you know what? Actually, I think it is, because I know people who had as close to a perfect childhood as one can get, and when they're at those times where everything's all right, you know, the kids are sleeping, work's done, I can just relax now and play my 5 hours of Grand Theft Auto. Those people, who shall remain unnamed, are perfectly happy.
It's all genetics.
Yeah, I'm with Valerie.
I think it's genetics.
No.
Well, I'm just so sick of like everything is the parents' fault. You know, like really, like it makes you feel.
You are.
And this makes you feel that like you're responsible. Like if my kid has, you know, grows up and he gets depressed sometime, that it's because of something I did now. Like I don't buy that.
I agree. I think people think that parents have this huge influence on their kids. I don't buy it at all. I think
really?
their kids are going
to
be
who they are when they're born, and nothing's ever going to change them.
No, you never had that moment where you've taken a step back and you say, "Wow, I just regurgitated what my parents used to say to me when I was younger." When you hear things over and over again in your childhood, which was a part of your life where you really retain a lot of the information, so things just kind of sink in. It's not going to traumatize you, most likely. It's not going to make you depressed for the rest of your life if your parents said something that was a little harsh to you, because there would be plenty of people that have been raised in harsh environments and persevered and made it into the big time, and it didn't, despite the fact that they didn't have a good childhood. When you're raising your children and they're depending on you, and you look at kids like, unfortunate kids with divorced parents, some kids just totally lose it. I had a good friend who was on his, this straight line to medical school, great GPA in college, was really intent on this from the womb. His dad is a doctor. His parents got separated like 2 months before the MCATs, and he just went into a total funk, bombed the MCATs, didn't get into any of the medical schools he applied to, and it's just it's
blaming
them. But it's not blaming them. It's not blaming them, but it's something that you rely on. There are certain gibbets in life that we always rely on, and our parents being there to support us is basically there, and we understand that we don't have to think about it, but we know that they're there, and as soon as something shatters that backbone that we have, that could potentially screw you up. That I could see where that could be it, and that could end your happiness for a very long time, because your life just doesn't seem to make sense at that point. Everything you knew to be true, you now have to question.
I kind of want to know like one thing that makes each of us happy.
I love bathing with my daughter.
Like the first sight of my baby when she comes walking through my door.
I love it. It's the most fun thing in the world. I wear my underwear, okay, all you freaks out there. No, I can wear a bathing suit. It's just easier. I take my pants off, I just jump in. It's the best.
More details, come on.
Yeah. I mean, she's away at school all day. She comes home for, an hour. I put her to sleep. It's like the time we get to spend together. We have a blast. That's really makes me happy. Other things too. I mean, you asked for one thing. That's one. Hey.
That's a good one.
Why don't you want to wear clothes when you're baking with your daughter?
Bathing.
Oh, bathing?
Jesus. Baking? I'm like, your boxes of briefs. And you're thinking it's a straight. I'm like, I'm sitting up there with a ladle and I'm stirring my stew.
Baking and boxer shorts.
Baking, yeah. How hot. You're very
nice. You're probably wearing like pajama pants and a tank top and you're calling that
When I'm doing the dishes?
Yeah.
No, naked.
Like,
naked.
Okay.
Housework.
I don't like washing
these
dishes
Sharon
and like,
preschool mothers.
water on myself. Just easier, you know what I mean? I take a shower, I'm about to get in, I wash the dishes. I wouldn't move into a house. If I can't walk around naked, I'm not going to buy the house.
Like you're talking about seriously naked, or you have...
Is this really that crazy to you?
Am
I the only one? Not always. I'm not exclusively a naked dishwasher.
He will also wash dishes with
You got to be careful with the disposal.
My wife doesn't wash any dishes. My wife doesn't do anything. She has children and she nurses them. She does other things. I shouldn't say nothing. I do. I'm like the most domesticated man you'll ever meet.
Do you like to
give me a
cook and wash
break.
dishes?
I don't cook. I'd rather not eat than cook.
How can you say you're domesticated if you don't even cook?
I mean, I'll make pasta. Is that cooking?
I don't cook.
No, but he
either.
cleans. He cleans. He
Dishes,
washes children,
laundry,
diapers,
toilet,
all that.
I don't do toilets.
Yeah, well, I do the toilets. When we moved to Israel, they have it's all the plumbing is all Polish. So there's a hole in the floor with a drain, and then there's the sink and the tub, but it all goes in the same pipes.
I'm still thinking about him saying Polish in like 2009.
Polish. It's Polish.
Are you
Polish Jews that did it? Well, it's Polish Arabs, but we get there, right, and the tub doesn't go down and the sink doesn't go down, and it's coming out of the middle of the floor. So I had this aluminum broom that someone had left there, and I actually was able to make a snake out of it. I bent it, it notched it all the way down, and I was able to run it.
You and my husband could have a really meaningful conversation about how great the snake is.
What does happiness mean? I can't.
No, just something in your
what
day.
Puts a smile on your face.
If you wanted to do something, what's a pick me up for you?
Listening to music.
Very nice. Okay.
Is that by yourself, privately, or like on your iPod, or like in your house with your kids?
In my house. I like it on Fridays when I'm cooking for Shabbos, and I can just blast my music, and everyone's out of the house, and I could just cook and listen to the Killers and just have a great time.
Love it.
I don't mind if you don't mind, 'cause I don't shine if you don't shine. Put your back on me, put your back on me, put your back on me.
Singing loud in car. I have a mixed CD of songs I like, but like karaoke style.
With no words. You really
With
are.
no words.
Wow.
Oh, really? You know the
That's
words?
hardcore.
I'm not bad.
This is not like impromptu. It's like you plan this.
I plan it.
Bon Jovi
I'm going to sing.
What's your song?
The Climb.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. There's always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose.
I love, and I'm bad at it, and I usually end up having a lot more frustration during the process, but once I'm done, I love building and fixing things. Like when my brother and I put in a hardwood floor in my kitchen, which we went 24 hours straight, from 8 in the morning till 8 in the morning. It was total insanity. We were just going out of our minds, getting angry at everything, throwing things, breaking things, but it got done, and when we did it, I just sit there and I could just stare at my floor.
Right here.
Playing the piano alone. Pretending I have no husband, no kids. I'm just saying, self-actualization. It's about the self. It's about, you, not giving something or whatever. So the fact that, when you're playing with your daughter, there is something about you, about your essence that is, because you're not just sitting there stoic, not doing anything. You are actively engaging with her.
Right.
And the fact that you enjoy it, and the fact that you say that makes me happy. I mean, not everybody would say that makes me happy. People would say, it's
I like
fun.
pretending
I like
my
to
kids
see.
don't exist. I think that's what other people might say.